No, he ain't playing. Or he might be having.
Yes, peoples. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome on this beautiful January 8th, the year 2020. Clear vision to liberated minds only. Sankofa every Wednesday meeting. Very glad y'all could be with us on this evening. And we got my name is Dark Skin Jock, as y'all already know. We have some esteemed guests on this evening I'd like to introduce. Y'all already know the Brown Fox. She needs no introduction.
Nope.
And tell them who you are, good brother.
My name is Aaron Henderson. I'm 35, Navy vet, and I realized what was going on, so I had to get out of that shit.
Ooh. You can't just make an introduction like that. Usually I'll do some old bullshit, but like that was just profound, even though it was just so simply stated. Please, can you elaborate on that last piece of verbiage you just gave to people?
One question that you wanted me to hold off on was avenues, and what
was the question?
That is, so the avenue,
what was the question? I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
So
that question was, what avenue or what genre of information brought you into knowledge?
Yes. What moment, piece of information, age, all that stuff, what was going on at the time that made you say, you know what I thought was the truth maybe needs to be questioned.
And for me, it was getting into politics. You catch me on a regular basis, I can't shut up about it. Especially foreign policy.
How old were you at the time that you said, I love politics now?
I was still in the Navy. I was like turning 30. I was getting ready to turn 30.
How old you got?
35.
Okay, nice little 5 year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 2008, I was kind of aware of Obama. I was going to vote for Ron Paul. That's if I tried out to vote, but they screwed him, the Republicans, because he was the peace candidate. I'm personally sick of the killing.
Okay. I know you coming from the military.
Yeah. It's not even that. Finally realizing that I'm an empath. I would have panic attacks in nightclubs, and I'm wondering why. And I used to be able to, run the streets and, chase the Hennessy with the champagne, and putting coke up my nose, all kinds of shit, man. I don't been some places I'm not proud of.
So when you were in the military and you said when you went in and you figured out that it was a lie, what elaborate on that?
So for me, it was Libya. Finding out the truth about Brother Gaddafi. And everyone says, oh, he was cruel to his peoples. I don't know what man is cruel.
Who was Gaddafi?
Muammar Gaddafi was the last president of Libya before the United States went in there, and along with France.
And where's Libya located?
Libya is it's like North Africa.
North Africa, Middle East.
Yeah,
kind of area.
It's considered part of the Arab world.
Right.
Muammar Gaddafi was known for being really good to his black Libyans, and Libya also at the time had the highest, I think it was the highest literacy rate in all of Africa. They had the best health care. They had free health care.
Wow.
They had free education. The government would give them grants to start farms, businesses. So Libya was a beacon of hope for the continent.
And what did you guys go over there and do when you? Because I know about Gaddafi. Gaddafi was not a bad person like they say he was. And they went over there and all they want is what? Their oil and their gold, their diamonds, whatever the case may be. But a lot of people don't understand this, but he understands this. So go ahead.
Like
you talk empty shit. I know how to back it. And at the end, it's like,
Yes.
it's
So
awkward.
Gaddafi, and when did you realize that that America was not
And this was around 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think 2012 and 2016 were both very pivotal moments for people to start realizing what was going on, especially politically. So I guess I kind of got caught up in that wave too.
Election years.
Yeah. So, and from there, I mean, I've always been interested in, the occult, but I kind of just ignored what was going on inside me and just,
So
living life.
Occult, for everyone that don't know, occult is only for the old souls. Only old souls know what occult is because we've been here a long time, many, many times. And that's why a lot of people that are in religion, they're young souls. You know what I'm saying? And nothing's wrong with religion, but you guys are still young souls. When you get to occult, something totally different. So, yeah, occult is real.
So you were over there. Were you in Libya at the time?
No,
Okay.
I was in the Navy.
All right. So you weren't stationed there or anything.
No.
But being in the military, do you think that gave you like a keener eye for like political events and things of that nature?
Honestly, I would say yeah, because you are more directly involved than the average person. I've been over, like in the Straits of Hormuz and those places there, wondering you don't know if a crack is going to come up or someone's going to launch a missile. We have very irresponsible politicians, so that puts us in real danger.
So at what point in your military career did you say, everything that I was taught, I'm starting to believe it's untrue?
That was around 2016, 2017.
That's with the Gaddafi situation.
Yeah.
Now talk more about what you were presented from your military, higher ups and from the U.S. media about Gaddafi initially. Were you given any information about him? Did you have your own thought prior to this current realization that you're at now?
Well, at one point I was still drinking the Kool-Aid, so I'm like, yeah, okay,
Okay.
like he must be a bad guy. We got to go and get him. I'm like, fuck that guy. He's doing this, he's doing that.
Right.
And then years later, like, oh wait, that's not who he was.
Would you say like America is the biggest gangsters in the whole like country?
Absolutely. In the entire world. The United States is really just a continuation of the British Empire.
Right. The international. Everything is international. America is ran by international. Queen Elizabeth, London, England. That's what America is ran by.
The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers.
So let me ask you guys a question. Somebody mentioned religion earlier. Does anybody, it was you, right?
Yes.
What's your opinion, B, the thoroughbred, on just organized religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism? Do you have any kind of stance on that?
Well, when it comes to religion, religion, like I said before, are for young souls. So when I mean young souls, I'm saying people that don't understand what's really going on. And religion is just how could I put it? Religion is just a organization, It's an organization where people can come socialize and feel good and then leave. It's an organization. But overall, religion, to me...
What's your opinion about religion and black people? Anybody have any...
Well, I'm going to say, and you may disagree, I think religion to some degree is necessary. At least for me it was. And through religion I found spirituality. It's like, why am I looking outside of myself in order to fix me? Why am I giving my power?
I'm going to agree with you on that because I wasn't always an old soul. I was a young soul before, so I agree with you. So I'm not going to disagree because I know that I came through as a young soul too. And I had to, learn and go through experiences. And through experiences, that's when we become masters. You understand? Like, that's when we move from religion to itself an occult, and understanding that everything is already inside of us. Everything. So I went to church. I was a Christian from a baby. I know it, the Bible backwards and forward, but I still understand that we all come through as young souls, and then we come, you know how.
You know, the whole idea of incarnation and reincarnation
Right.
is a very real thing.
Right, and that's a part of that. So, yeah.
So my opinion with religion and when it comes to black people, specifically in the United States.
That's the part.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, you want to jump in there?
No. This
You know what I'm
is
saying?
your show.
This is all of our show. This is not my show. This is her show. This is your show, good brother.
Right.
It's for everybody out there. It's everybody's show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you want to jump in, go ahead.
Hey,
What you want to say about
man.
So, you know, what I was going to say with religion when it comes to black people, first of all, it's a great system to have black people believe in something. In other words, black people in the United States have been, you know, historically oppressed so bad that, like, you know, appealing to your government didn't work. So appealing to God, that and faith that something better is gonna happen. What's that, Sam Cooke? Sam Cooke. I know shit gonna get better. Something gonna come. Change gonna come. Shit gonna get better. Sam Cooke.
Okay, I'm gonna need to listen.
A
to
change
You didn't say
that.
shit gonna get
A
better.
change
That's
gonna come.
the new Sam Cooke is shit gonna get better.
Oh, shit gonna get
But the
better.
old one was a change gonna come. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that was gonna, it's change gonna come. So that's what I believe the positive aspects of religion are, as far as, you know, black Americans. And Islam, take the brother that's, you know, locked up, you know, not necessarily chasing God, not necessarily chasing core beliefs, not, you know, being the center of his family and being a leader in his community.
Mhm.
The Nation of Islam takes brothers like that and they make them into those things.
Mhm.
So, you know, religion absolutely has a positive place
Definitely.
in our society.
But you have to go through that.
I'm gonna stop right there and let y'all jump in as far as any other thoughts y'all have about religion and black Americans. Anybody?
Well, okay, I was going to speak from a broader sense.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that the energy, you know, as you were talking about the structure and everything, that and the positive influence that can be provided via religion in the community, that can just as easily be usurped. I.e., you know what I'm saying, the Catholic Church. And even now with, you know, the new age, and yes it is, so if you want to call us new agers, I mean that's fine. But you also have to look at the people who are trying to usurp this energy and turn it into something completely different with their own mantras and guided meditation. Why do I need you to tell me where my mind needs to be at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dr. Valentine said it best. Find your place of power on the porch.
Right.
So time out. Now,
Find your place of power on the
you jumped
porch.
into a whole other. The first we talk about religion and black
Right,
America.
but this is how we do. This is
It's
what we
organic.
do.
So
This
fuck
is
it. You gonna go
universal.
where you gonna go. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is universal.
So
People
you said
were just
something.
talking.
What was that last thing you just said?
Find your place of power on the porch.
Guided meditation.
Yeah.
What is that? Is there like some sort of like?
Like they're trying to tell
thing
you
that's
to
wrong
go
with it?
through it to
Yeah.
like, I mean, for me personally, a whole bunch of people waving and shouting their hands or all that, like I don't need all that to be into myself.
Right.
That takes me out of myself.
Right.
Because I'm paying attention to what's going on around.
Right.
Yeah.
So for you, so you're saying basically for you, a technique such as guided meditation is not really effective.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, anything that's for me putting my power into somebody else, especially with meditation, no.
Yeah.
It's me. That's very
Well,
instant.
how about when you're meditating by yourself? No one's guiding you. Is that a better meditation for you?
Absolutely.
When you just lay back, close your eyes. Because meditation, we can meditate right now. All we have to do is close our eyes and just be still and meditate and just go into what we go into. But a lot of meditation is not good. I'm going to tell you why. Because you could keep going into meditation. You could go so deep. And if you're doing it every day, it can bring something out of you. Like Because I know when I used to do it a lot, I would get kind of agitated, like, because I'm coming back. Like, I'm so deeply meditated till I keep coming back and I keep doing it every day. But that's another story. So.
I think there's a place for guided meditation.
Yes, that's
I think guided meditation and guided imagery is for people who maybe are unable to kind of get to that place alone.
Definitely.
People who have a problem with being able to be still by themselves.
Definitely.
I think it's a nice springboard. It's a nice set of training
beginning.
wheels. It's a nice beginning, like for a beginner, training wheels.
Just like the
before you be able
religions,
to
like
kind
I'm saying,
of.
y'all
But you seem like you on that level, you kind of a little bit above.
Well,
yeah, a lot of buttons. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's so humble.
It is what it is. You know, I think it's a compliment, and I like the fact that she's like, nah, you know what I mean. But I do
there's
see
a lot I don't know. Like I know I don't know shit. That's how I continue to
And
learn.
listen to that, I think there's more than one way to score a basket. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we're all trying to achieve this level of stillness and calm when we try to meditate. So if you achieve it by taking a 3-pointer, cool. We gonna achieve it by going in the post.
I meditate in the shower.
So it is what it is.
I meditate in the shower with the lights off while I'm taking a shower. That's what I do every time I take a shower. I don't even have to lay down. I'm in the shower with the lights off, and the door is cracked. There's light coming out from outside, but still, it's good. It's a good thing when you're in the hot water and you're just it's great. It's a great feeling.
And I will say this: I do use frequencies.
That's the other thing.
I like 852 hertz. I like 963 hertz.
And what are those frequencies? Tell them what the frequencies are.
I'm still learning about solfeggio frequencies, I believe they're called. I'm still learning about those, but I heard them and I like how I feel when I listen to them.
Yes.
And people will tell you, oh, why you and your feelings? No, your feelings are very important.
Right.
But however, your feelings are not you. So that's the point of being in yourself, and I ask myself questions. Ralph Smart is somebody I listen to on YouTube, and that was something I heard him say. Be within yourself and ask yourself, like, why am I feeling this way?
Right.
What is this feeling? Where did this come from?
Right.
How do I feel about this?
Right.
So your feelings are very important.
Exactly. And especially like even negative feelings, like people don't realize, like, when you get those feelings, it's okay to feel that feeling, but you need to let it go, like, immediately, because you don't want those feelings harnessing in your inner being, because that can cause sickness. Like, people don't realize just things called ailments, not only through food. You have ailments like just through just a lot of things.
Because you could be feeling feelings that aren't even yours.
Right.
And being empathic, I know so many people throw that around. Everyone wants to be a fucking empath nowadays. No, the fuck you don't.
Be a Hyoka. Be a Hyoka.
But I want to go back to feelings.
Be yourself.
Okay. We're going to go back to feelings.
I want to go back to feelings. Feelings sometimes are a snapshot in time for what kind of experience that you've gone through. Sometimes feelings, once you go through the cognitive kind of evaluation of what actually took place, are just a byproduct of something that you didn't get to achieve, in that moment. So there's a lot of times where you have these like cognitive distortions that lead to certain feelings, that lead to certain negative behaviors. So for example, a cognitive distortion would be mind reading. That's an example of a cognitive distortion. You're just so certain that he or she is thinking a certain thing. You're 100% certain. So based on that mind reading, you some sort of psychic now. And then based off your perception of what that person may or may not be thinking, it has been unproven what another person has been thinking. You take that as the gospel and you run with it. You feel a certain way. And then guess what happens? Based on the feeling, you behave a certain way.
Right.
And it's all off of what? a cognitive distortion.
Right.
And there's many cognitive distortions.
Yes.
Mind reading is one. All or nothing is another one. Oh, all or nothing. I must be an A student, and if I get one B, I'm a failure. I must have a promotion within 6 months, and if I don't, I'm a failure. So what kind of thing is that? Where you build up some sort of imaginary plateau that you must get to in a certain, and if you don't, it's not because of circumstances, not because of maybe you get it in 8 months, you didn't get it within the first 6 months, so therefore you're a failure. That's a cognitive distortion, all or nothing. Because of that action, because of that thought, you develop a certain feeling about yourself, and then you start to behave differently. So I just want to put that in there about them feelings. You gotta be careful about the feelings.
Yes.
And that was nice. That was. Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about like, wow, like, man, yeah, you are a Libra.
My Libra brethren.
Here we go. Here we go. So, yeah.
So any opinions on the black family? Any opinions on the black health, black relationships, black economics, black politics?
Well, I mean, you can't talk about the nucleus of the black family without first discussing Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill. You can't.
Wait, who's Joe Biden? You mean Obama's running?
Yeah,
The
Barack
vice
Obama's
president?
vice president.
In 1990, I wasn't hearing his name really in 94. Please, brother.
Oh,
Educate
Joe
me,
Biden
'cause
was
the first time I heard that man's name was with 08.
Joe Biden was a senator from Delaware, if I'm not mistaken. And everyone knows what Hillary Clinton said about us. But he was on the floor.
Super predators.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they're those tough on crime Democrats.
Yeah.
So is Amy Klobuchar. Don't be fooled by her. She's one of those tough on crime Democrats too. But yeah, he said they may
So
have.
what was the crime bill?
The
You
crime?
just gonna tease us like that and not give us put the people on to what the crime bill was in 94?
The only part I cared about was the part that hurt us the most, which was the organization and I guess was, for lack of a better word, proliferation of the for-profit prison. So that's how that industry was built. And from that, they gotta have people to put in these prisons. If not, they're not gonna make any money.
Exactly.
So it was the the incentivization. And I think I'm saying that right. Incentivizing these corporations to build prisons to lock us up.
Right.
That's what that was.
You know what's crazy? I heard, how we be in the YouTube universe and you just get deeper and deeper. I stumbled across this video one time. What was that?
I just said the black hole.
The black hole of YouTube, basically. I stumbled across this video one time talking about how executives, in the early 90s, prison business people came to hip hop music executives saying, what we want to do is send hip hop a whole nother way. Because in the beginning you had a lot of diversity with, MC Hammer, Digital Underground. You had a lot of diversity within hip hop in the 80s. And then once the early 90s came and the Chronic dropped, you had just everybody going G shit. Everybody doing gangster shit, talking gangster shit, which is cool because I'm a child growing up in the 90s, born in the 80s, a teen in the 90s, so that's my shit. Let's just not get it fucked up. But at the end of the day, I heard this YouTube broadcast and it was talking about how these men who were talking about private prisons said to these record company executives of hip hop, let's invest. Sign artists who make that kind of aggressive music that talk about crime, so that would kind of influence the people to want to be like them, and therefore we can get the return on our investment, which is the private prisons. So it's crazy that you bring this up as far as that crime bill at the time and the timing in which hip hop also took a shift from what was like Public Enemy. Everybody rocking like the gold, the medallion,
Run
the
DMC.
African shit, and it made a shift to everybody gotta have a gun and sell drugs. Like in order to have a hit, in order to have a record deal, you had to have a gun and tell a story like that. That was like the criteria. You was hot. Whoever was hot in that time in the mid '90s, the whole of the '90s after the Chronic album till 2000, I feel like that was the criteria. And then everything else you got after that, you was allowed to be Ludacris and Kanye West.
Yes.
But like in the '90s, you had to be something, you know. So you had to have a gun and a story.
And also to add on to that, people, you guys have to realize like that this is a game with all this, you know, private prisons and all of that. Because whether you know it or not, the prisoners are bonds. We have bonds. And they put those on the stock markets, and they're called penal bonds. And a lot of people don't know that they're buying these bonds. They don't know that they're attached to the inmates. They just think they're buying bonds, stocks and bonds. But yes, they're on the stock market. Yes, definitely.
What's the name of that company? I feel like I forgot the name of this. It's like two companies that are actually on the stock market, and they're private prisons. And then there's a whole bunch of companies that you and I, everybody who utilizes and shops at, that the prisons provide labor for.
Bob Barker.
And when I say labor, it's free labor.
No, like in the prisons where they have the soaps.
Walmart's one of them.
Oh
Yeah. And what you were saying
I
about
was
Bob
just
Barker?
guessing.
Bob Barker.
What were you saying about Bob Barker?
No, I was just saying like they have like the soaps and all the toothpaste and all the different products are manufactured by different, you know, people. Bob Barker being one.
Bob Barker, Price is Right, the old school, the one that died, like, Bob Barker,
So he
original
owns
Price is Right.
No, I don't know. I don't know
He
how.
owned the company that provided the
Provides the
toiletries
soaps,
and the and
Wow.
when I was working in the hospital, they had this company, I forgot the name, Arrowmark or something.
Armark.
Arrowmark?
ARMARK.
Something like that, yup.
Yeah.
And then they had their linens and you know, things like that in the hospital, but I also think they had it in the prison. So at the end of the day, prison feeds so many people.
So it takes.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, it's only $1 a day. It takes for 30 days. It's $30 to feed an inmate. So every month, it only takes $30 to feed an inmate, just to let you guys know. So where's the rest of the money going? So it's just, it makes you think. It makes you think, and yeah.
So with that being said, prison feeds so many people.
Yes.
So you have most of those federal penitentiaries in like those small towns.
Yes, Angola.
So where's Angola?
And Louisiana.
In Louisiana, very high, like black male incarcerated state.
Yes, slavery.
Like a very high level of black incarceration, man. So with that being said, these prisons feed so many people, and it makes sense that you would have this big institution that feeds so many people in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So in the middle of nowhere, you got you have the white man who can't find a job. You have the white woman who may have gotten a college degree, but she's back home now and she can't find a job because it's a small community. Then you got all these. So what do? They say, boom, we're gonna build this prison. You could be CEOs and all of this. You went to got her nursing degree. You don't gotta drive 50 miles outside of the little country to go work. You can work right in your neighborhood, and you could be the nurse at the prison. You could be the psychologist. You could be the prison doctor. You could be the food that comes in.
Right.
I'm not going to try to give any personal things right now, but there's a situation, and I was in there for like a week. Just a week.
Well, if you were in there for a week, you dang show. When we talk about, that's jail. You went to jail.
And
we
it's
talk
just
about the penitentiary.
but
Jail still sucks.
But
Let's
the
not get
point,
it twisted.
but it was just a week. But the point I'm trying to make is where the place was located, it was in the middle of nowhere, and it was in the middle of Pennsylvania where there was a lot of farmland. And where's a lot of farmland, you have all these farmers trying to feed their family by what?
Getting
Selling
contracts.
crops, getting contracts. So who else does it feed? It feeds that farm in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So many. I remember I ate the bread. The bread was like, it was just like, and it was fresh fruit.
Right.
I was like, how is fresh fruit? And we supposed to be,
Because it's farm.
because it's from the farm. It's from the
Wow.
local whatever,
Yes.
the local,
And
you know what I'm saying, in the middle of PA.
Even with
So that shit right there, I know it fed so many people. That one little experience just like made something click. Like, damn, this little thing that's going on here, it feeds a lot of people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it behooves the U.S. government and other private interests to what? Lock black men and women
play
up.
it's the game.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all the game.
Yeah.
So it's time.
So slavery never really went away.
It's
Let's
still
not
happening.
get it twisted.
In the prisons,
Facts.
definitely.
Slavery has gone nowhere.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It really
13th
hasn't.
Amendment, y'all know what it is.
It really hasn't, and it's sad. But like I was saying, what was I saying?
But like you said, slavery hasn't gone away. When slavery ended, what they wanted to do is find a
You gotta
Pardon me.
Slavery
When
ended.
slavery ended allegedly in 1865 or whatever, 1863, when the Emancipation was signed, they said, okay, now we got all these black people.
By the way, Russia freed their slaves before America did.
Interesting. We have all these black people here, and we have this need for labor. What are we gonna do? Well, what we can do is just make blackness a crime.
we could just criminalize blackness.
Definitely.
You know, they made these little crimes called like vagrancy and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Oh, you got black people chilling outside talking.
They
That's
must be
against
up.
their
They
law.
must be up.
let's lock them up. So
Right.
they lock you up, have an unjust trial and all this bullshit,
Right.
and then you get right back into
Right.
the free labor that you lost during slavery.
Mhm.
And this happened from the 1860s till today,
Right.
where they create all sorts of bullshit.
Or they'll
laws
just
that
arrest you
criminalize black people.
or they'll just arrest you and try and charge you with anything just for you to have a record.
It's all the money game.
Mm-hmm. So
It's all
it
money
can be
game.
harder for you to vote.
It's all the money game at the end of the day, people. It's all about the money, and that's just what it's about. So that's it. That's it. That's all. But we have to get the knowledge and understanding, because knowledge is power. Money is not power. Knowledge is power. If you got the knowledge, you got the power. So never let anybody make you think money is power, because it's not. If you understand things, you can execute things.
Yeah.
Knowledge without wisdom might
Right.
get you killed.
Right? You're right about that, because you do have to have knowledge. Yes, knowledge,
And
wisdom, and
that's
understanding.
and that's the
That
whole
whole
point to bring it back around.
Yeah.
That's why you have to go within yourself.
Yes.
Stop looking outside at the world for them to tell you,
Right.
you know, what nigga you need to be like. Be like your motherfucking self. Be like yourself. It's not easy. I know. I've been through it. You know, I've looked in the mirror and have hated the person I've seen. And
That's real.
I am so grateful that I don't feel that way anymore. And I want you for that too. I want that for you too. Whoever is watching this,
Right.
you
Right.
deserve that.
Right.
And don't ever let anybody tell you anything different.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. So with that being said, people, peace, love, and light.
Keep, striving for greatness. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for your oppressor trying to define you and to place you into a box in a situation that you feel like you don't deserve because you don't, and have the balls to find a way to get out of that situation. You're not a slave if you leave the plantation. So, with that being said, I love y'all and thank y'all for tuning in. One
Peace.
love.
Peace.